Hey, I'm Cole,
I'm Kenyon.
I'm Kwame.
and I review bad self-help.
And we put it into our daily lives so you don't have to.
Thanksgiving's coming up. It can be a pretty stressful holiday for some people.
Like the Native Americans.
Yeah, mainly them. Yeah. I like how you said some people. Like, we don't know who we're talking about. Like, yeah. Well, listen, we all know who we're talking. Some casino owners.
The Navajo children that were wiped out. Yeah, it's probably pretty stressful.
Yeah, the Native Americans who were wiped out, and the liberals that have to talk to their Trump.
Probably equal suffering.
Yeah,
just equal. I mean, who really suffered worse, the genocide or just having to talk to your uncle every goddamn?
That is crazy. Yeah, that is annoying when people like go off on this thing. You'll see like all the time, like Thanksgiving or Christmas, when like people would like they're like I'm like cutting off my family members who are. It was like, but is it that hard to just like not talk about politics?
Yeah. Also, I feel like why don't you just make. You don't have to talk about that. You know what I mean?
It's like your fucking uncle's stupid. We all have crazy, stupid fucking family. They're stupid. Half my family says fucking awful racist or homophobic things. We don't talk about that shit.
Yeah.
My grandma says
and the other half are a bunch of dumb libtards. I mean, exactly. They're hard. It's like hard to just even tolerate.
The idea that you're gonna cut people. My grandma says something homophobic. I'm not like, I'm done with it. She's fucking 60. Yeah, she says
made collard greens. Let her say a slur, for Christ's sake. For God.
Cook the whole fucking meal.
Yeah, they just made a meal for you. You can't listen to his thoughts on gun control.
Fried turkey.
Yeah. No, everybody. It's also like, I mean, what are you talking about? Where it's like, man, this gravy is good. Almost is like the way this country was 30, 40 years ago. It's like, well, like, God, like you could easily talk to someone you don't have the same fucking opinions on. That's why sports was like invented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like, I'm thinking about getting into football just so I have something mildly in common with my family to deflect on. Where it's like, how's that stand-up thing going? I'm like, the Bears are just doing great.
You seem like a Browns guy.
The fuck does that even mean? Because I always lose?
I mean, you answered the question yourself.
Yeah.
You seem like...
I said that rhetorically. I'm like, yes, that's actually exactly
If Kid and Adamczyk was a football team, it would be Cleveland Browns.
Not even Detroit. Not even bad enough to be Detroit. Just a failing.
You are the Browns.
Yeah. Just a team. Everyone's like, they root for just in an ironic fashion. Like, it'd be nice. Yeah, me headlining is the equivalent of the Cleveland Browns going to the Superdome, where everyone's like, how did that happen?
Yeah. People have had this problem that you're talking about, talking with the surviving with their family. So I've seen a lot of stuff online, like Thanksgiving survival guides.
Survival guides.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little
survival.
intense.
What the fuck is survival?
It's not the zombie apocalypse. It's like 8 people that love you around a turkey, and you're like, oh, how do I survive?
It's such a. I mean, it's a holiday where you gather around to eat food, and you need to fucking survive the holiday. People are gonna. There's a genocide going on while you're eating fucking cranberry sauce.
Eight Yemenis just got their legs blown off.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Sorry, your uncle believes
the Rohingya are getting their heads cut off while you're watching football. But yeah, please tell me how you have to survive Thanksgiving.
You have to be off
because
Twitter
your uncle
for 4 hours.
because your uncle says kind of mean things about Mexicans.
Right.
Yeah. And there was actually a book on Amazon that I was going to pick up called The Thanksgiving Survival Guide. But
they have like a bunker? Like, what do you do? Is it like take the stuffing, shove it into your ears immediately so you don't have to hear any of their
It sounds like your family's to fucking survive you.
Yeah. You're the worst person there. Your family's just some normal people being, getting together.
I feel like that's a lot of it too. When people like talk about this guy, I feel like it's like your family actually just like shows up to like watch football and eat food, and you're like, no, what do you think about the migrant crisis, Dad? And it's like I don't know.
Yeah. God. Do you have to, like, it's always like, can you just drop the bit for a goddamn second? Just be a person and eat some turkey and drink some beer. I don't understand.
You guys eat regular turkey?
I eat turkey, yeah.
Have you had fried turkey before?
No, that sounds...
Fried turkey's fucking incredible.
Well, fried anything's great.
You drop the whole turkey in the deep fryer. That's the only way you can eat turkey.
Yeah, some people are just suicidal. Like, it's yeah.
I mean, it is so bad.
I mean,
it's great. It's so bad for the skin.
You haven't ever seen that advertisement that the Popeyes advertisement at the end? They're like, oh yeah, you can also pick up your fried turkey here for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. They'll
the Popeyes turkey family. Now I want to see like the end of that commercial. I want to see the house that goes to, because that's a double wide trailer with everyone.
You can like take them a turkey. You can take businesses a turkey and like have them fry it for you, because Otherwise, you got to do it like.
Well, you're talking about this as a normal thing in the same way that like I could go and
It's
have
a
someone
southern thing.
shoot heroin into my arm, but those
That's
are
a
both
southern
horrible
thing.
things. Yeah, so that I would say the fried turkey in the Civil War, probably same level of horrible mistakes.
The
made.
fried turkey is you drop the whole turkey in
Yeah.
the deep fryer.
Yeah, you could also again drop heroin into your veins. It feels good temporarily, but you're ruining your life.
What
Do you
a
understand?
horrific thing to do to life, by the way. Something that was living and breathing, walking around, just drop its whole body in a deep
You're
fryer.
just fry. Yeah. No, I mean that's a little much. I feel like we still got to pretend to be civilized people.
Fried turkeys. you gotta
Also,
try
if
it.
you're eating a fried turkey and you're surprised someone said the N-word, you're the idiot. You're the idiot. You're like, can you believe some people are racist around a fried turkey? I'm like, yeah, that's where racism
we
happens.
eat fried turkey. Fried turkey's good.
Huh?
My family eats fried turkey.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
How do they
Okay, I
fry,
want to know what you think about the migrant crisis at Thanksgiving.
how do they fry the turkey? Because it's a huge.
You get a deep fryer. You get you buy.
What do you mean a deep?
Yeah, you don't have to get like an indoor pool full of grease.
Those
No,
are like
no,
an
no, no. No, you can
industrial
get-
deep fryer.
You get like there's like little mini ones you can like buy for your house, and it takes like a couple hours. So you can either do it at home, which is like kind of dangerous if you don't do it right because it can like cause a fire and shit. Or you can just buy a frozen one from the store, and then you can go to some place like Popeyes or some shit and drop it off. And
Again,
pay
are you
them.
shilling for frozen turkey? I don't know why you're. This is
You
an
drop-
ad.
I'm just
You're like
explaining
19.
how I'm explaining how
No
it
one
fucking
gives
works.
a fuck. Yeah,
I'm
it's
explaining-
a
yeah,
terrible
you go
thing.
you go off, you drop it off, they'll fucking fry your turkey for you, and you can have one for just $4.99. You can get our
This
industrial
happens
deep
every
fryer.
episode. You get on some weird topic and you go kind of in depth as if. And I just wonder who's paying you off. How did the big fried turkey
Big
get
turkey.
into your pocket?
Big turkey is lying.
Because I've never heard anyone talk about fried turkey, and you're talking about a battering kit. You're talking about ways to do it.
Yeah.
None of us care. Okay, it's
good turkey.
We're here to talk
Oh,
about
good turkey. We're talking about Thanksgiving. It's
We're
good
talking
turkey.
about, we're talking about these Vice bloggers whose worst thing is that their family that loves them made them a meal, and they have to be around them for 9 hours.
Where did you get this, by the way?
Just various articles around the web.
Survival
Like
guide.
yeah.
And are they about the shit that we're talking about? So they don't like their family's politics, so they just,
Yeah.
like, survive it or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely been. There's definitely some Thanksgivings where I'm like, I'm grateful for the fact that I don't have to do this 364
I mean,
days
yeah,
of the
there's
year.
definitely this shit that like my grandma said like some pretty homophobic
Well,
things.
no, it's
but,
not the
but
politics.
you
I
just
like
you
everyone's
move
like, oh,
past it.
politics. It's just your family's irate and horrible.
Yeah, it's also the thing.
not
So
the
it's like
politics.
no one wants to be. You shouldn't want to be around your family 24/7.
Also,
you shouldn't want to be around.
They
them all the
also
time.
wiped your ass when you were a child.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
wiped the shit out of your crevice. Maybe just just make some small talk for 4 hours. Eat some turkey. I don't know why
It's
that's
not a
to be-
horrific.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Some
talking
horrific
about.
horror movie experience because you have to sit and talk with people.
Grandma said y'all. Oh, I'm like running out of them. Shut up.
No,
Shut up.
y'all's good. Y'all's good now.
Y'all's good now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to use that 'cause that's like a
instead of-
gender-neutral
Instead of
term.
saying guys, you're supposed
Wouldn't that
to
be
say
great? Is that
y'all.
what happens? Is it becomes so PC that we somehow get like old racist Southern terms back into?
Y'all's not racist.
Yeah. Huh?
No, but it's
Yeah, it's core. It's
you agree
if
with
someone
it?
says y'all, I'm like I could predict your opinions on other things.
yeah. But I was gonna pick up that Amazon book, the Thanksgiving Survival Guide, but it was only 52 pages long and it cost $45.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Almost $1 a page.
I'm like, all these people are just geniuses who know how to run scams. You're just like,
We're writing a book. That's how
No,
that's
that-
how
no,
that's
that's
how
how-
we're
that's
that's
how
how
we're
we're funding
saving.
the rest of the pod. By the way,
yeah,
we were writing
right,
a book. out of
Why,
this
why don't we
episode.
just write? We should just take all the shitty self-help, we compile it into
This
one
might be the
book.
last episode.
Yeah,
We might just become off.
That would suck if all books were priced $1 a
Yeah.
page. That was the new like pricing model
I
for.
had to get a second mortgage on my house to avoid War of the Worlds. It was just brutal. So what are some tips in the survive? Or you don't know any of them because you'd have to pay $45.
No, so this I just kind of
Got some WikiLeaks
collected them
released.
from. I collected them from Vice. I collected them from Broadly. Is that?
I
the-
want a book on how to survive people that work at Vice for Thanksgiving. Like how do you sit around a table full of that? Well, that would be
Yeah.
infuriating. I would literally. I'd
It
be
is-
eating
they're
fried
pretty
turkey to
bad
have a
people.
heart attack.
It
You
is
seem like the stories that come out of this place. They're pretty bad guys.
saying survival though is kind of like offensive because like
Yeah.
Because people
no,
are. I mean,
but like
Literally
like,
survive.
Like the first Thanksgiving, half of those people wouldn't survive past the next winter.
Yeah.
Like that was like a real like life or death. Like this is our food. Let's be thankful because half of us won't be here next Thanksgiving, you know.
Yeah.
And like yeah, and like for Native Americans it was like a real like
Yeah.
like yeah, we kind of are killing y'all.
what a a sweetened down way of we're kind of killing all you guys. So y'all could just move into the graves real nice like.
Yeah, and now it's like, so we went from like a thing that celebrates surviving, you know, the winter to like, oh, I had to have a conversation I didn't really like.
Yeah.
And that's the,
Yeah.
that's that. So in 400 years, we went from like, they ate people in Jamestown to survive. And then now you have to like maybe smile at some things you don't like.
I looked up kind of some of the attitudes that Native Americans have around Thanksgiving, and it said some of them they hold on Thanksgiving Day, and it's where they mourn the deaths of their ancestors.
Well, that's one of the most horrifically depressing things I've ever heard.
Yeah, yeah. I was supposed to have a podcast after that.
Jesus
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's horrible. Yeah. But it's also like, so think about, you have to survive an awkward conversation. Imagine sitting around being like, well, everyone could have looked like us, but no.
Yeah,
you
what
know?
a way to really ruin Thanksgiving for yourself.
Yeah.
To make everybody gather around and,
Yeah.
and be like, so this.
So we all got the day off work to remember how everyone that looks like this is almost dead. Everyone looks like it's almost dead. Yeah. No, we had so many of our people were murdered. They have a holiday celebrating it.
Well, a lot of the self-help, not the self-help, but the advice in these columns was based around remembering the true nature of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And they said, you know,
But I feel like every holiday and almost everything you do has some
Yeah.
like horrible
Yeah, that is-
connotation.
I
You know
mean-
what I mean? Like if I have to do that with everything, then I can't enjoy anything. Like
Yeah.
you can't write that article and then have a shirt made in Honduras at the same fucking time. Or it's
That's
like,
true.
well, there's still sad shit that you.
That's also the thing of like most holidays don't mean anything.
there's
they
this
used to.
one article where it actually had placemats you could print out, and on the placemats was like sayings like, whose land is this
You're a
anyways?
fucking douche. If you do. You're
Yeah.
fucking awful. If you
No,
do that,
you
you're
do-
an asshole.
You're also like, everyone who does that acts like they're the first person to be like, hey, do you realize that happened with the Native
Or
Americans?
like you're some
yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's also like you act like you're some fucking. Why don't you go donate to a Native American?
You never even talk to a Native
Why
American.
don't you go help them instead of you think you're some hero because you sit on Twitter and you're like,
Yeah.
well, this holiday sucks.
You're
Anyways,
also-
I'm gonna get some fucking turkey. Fuck off.
You're also just like inviting conflict at that point. If you're like, yeah, let's eat off these murals of dead Indians, so you really know what this is.
Yeah. But it's also like,
And it's just-
are you gonna do that to the people that you're like a month later gonna be like, hey, can I have like $500 for rent? Also, this holiday is around death, and it's like, you know,
I mean, it's the thing of like, well, the holidays. I mean, the holiday is like about survive. It's not about killing anybody.
Yeah.
The holiday is about surviving a harvest, which they did.
Yeah.
It's not. That's not what the holiday is about. Also, Halloween is not originally about dressing up in costumes. Christmas is not originally about Jesus' birthday or
Yeah.
giving gifts or fucking
Yeah.
buying shit from Walmart.
we have a day off work. Why can't I just eat fucking turkey and get drunk?
Yeah, it's also
Yeah.
like
I have
meetings
a- got a day off-
change,
I got
right?
a day off work for
Meetings
fuck's sake.
change. Who cares what it meant 200 years ago? Right now, it means I come with my family, watch football, and I eat fucking food.
Like example, so Christopher Columbus technically murdered 95% of my ancestors,
Hmm.
but I got Monday off, so
All right, I will.
It's
I'm not going to give you that one.
I got Monday off.
I'm going to say
So-
Columbus.
so-
I'm going to say
Christopher
Columbus.
is evil, but I will.
Columbus
I
is
wanna
gonna-
s- but I wanna
I don't
say-
think that. I don't think that one. I
But
don't
I
think
got,
that
I
one
got
changed.
Monday off, so I'm thinking he was a man of his time.
But no, like especially recently, it seems like politics has really like kind of been like a Thanksgiving issue. I was looking at some stats that said, you know, families were canceling their Thanksgiving plans since the latest
What the
election.
fuck is that?
Thanksgiving dinners are now like 30 minutes shorter since 2016.
But I
They've
feel
been-
like it's like, could you not? Is there like literally no way to like?
Yeah, you guys can't
be
just like
around.
sit and. Well, it's also a thing of like, okay, so most people. I mean, what your family? If my family, I mean, they didn't. But if my family voted for Trump, I would be annoyed. I'd be like, oh, these guys are stupid. But most of your family is not some raving, frothing at the mouth KKK member. They're just like kind of dumb, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can't just like
Yeah.
get past, be like, yeah, my uncle and my dad are kind of dumb and just have food.
Also, the thing is, people voted for Trump. The one thing they're good at is probably drinking a lot and making food. You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking about rallies, they're really good at that. You know what I mean? So, like, at least enjoy that part. Like, they're good at that. You know, like, indulge. Like, if we're gonna like, they're not asking you to go out and like shoot guns with them. They're just like, hey, make meals and get drunk with us. And I'm like, well, people voted for Trump. I think statistically, if I had to take that and then Jill Stein voters, I think the
Who was
better,
more fun to hang out
who's the
with?
better hang?
Who was
better
more,
hang?
That is great. That is true. I was asking fun about that. I mean, not for us, but but for Cole or something like that.
Objectively better hang.
Also, just because you're a family, like you have family members that didn't vote for Trump, doesn't mean they're like not like conservative in some ways. Because like I don't know, you said your family has like homophobes and stuff in it, right?
Yeah, it's also the difference between like if my brother was saying all kind of shit and he's fucking 17, I would be like, hey, what the fuck, and like pull him to the side. When my grandma, who's like 60 years old, says something homophobic, I'm not gonna be like, well, you should change your. She's believed this since she was fucking 10. I'm not gonna change.
Went from radio, man on the moon,
exactly,
to computer in your pocket.
The woman who had to go to a separate school because it was illegal for her to sit next to a white student. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and change her.
Yeah, let her say Oriental. Just let her have that.
Yeah, so there was it seemed like there was two like kind of prongs to approach politics from these articles. One is like just don't talk about politics, and the other is like, yeah, you definitely have to shame your family at Thanksgiving.
That's also, I think, who made the meal. I think that really dictates how it's going. If someone made an 8-hour turkey and you're like, how dare you? And it's like, shut up. Shut up. You don't get
like how effective. All that is going to do is estrange you from your. It's also a thing of like
you can't. That's like the ultimate thing though, is getting a handout and then yelling at the person that gave it to you. You know what I mean? It's like, could you not? Do you under like they raised you? Just allow these people.
Or just be like, yeah, thanks for the turkey. It's really good. But do you know how many Native Americans died?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Yeah. Why are you eating the fucking turkey then? Go home and go to sleep like you're. Like you're
well, okay. Well, I died a slave in a whole day away from this fucking turkey. How about that? How about you mourn for the day I wasted making this fucking meal for an ungrateful bastard who's gonna tweet all day about Native Americans? Fuck's sake.
Yeah. One said article said, yeah, just don't talk about politics.
I feel like that's just standard with like people that.
Yeah, it said don't talk about politics. Do talk about sexual harassment.
What's the weird compromise there? You're like,
that's one of the most.
Yeah.
Wait, who even brings
also,
that? I wouldn't just randomly bring that up if unless it was part of the conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
just be like, hey, so how about the Me Too movement? Like, what's your
God? I really feel filled up inside, much like Kevin Spacey's victims. Anybody else? Yeah, man, this is good. Yeah, God, almost want to pass out. Boy, Bill Cosby. That is a shock. That is. For Christ's sake, I mean, wait, like
politics is at least kind of natural. Talking about sexual harassment is like
it's weird.
Boy, Dad. So skeletons in your closet, or what's going on there? Huh?
So like, what is the depth? It is a big gray area. Anybody just got legal advice because I lost my job recently, and I want to know like what is a sleep? Okay, that's what I need.
It also says if you do,
how would that come up at all? Like, because politics can see like, hey,
how
you
do
see
you
that thing?
You have to bring up
you have to somehow slide.
Not even like even the Me Too was like kind of politics, guys. If you were with your family, like, oh, you saw Kevin Spacey got in the news, and like, oh yeah, but it's bring up like, yeah, so how do you guys feel about like consent in the workplace? Like, what do you,
or just be like,
I said, pass me the stuff.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? The Detroit Lions are playing later. Why do you suck? That's the thing.
I sure hope all of those players are having consensual sex. What?
Yeah. And the thing is, these survival guides are probably written by the most intolerable person at that meal. Like, there should be a survival guide to deal with these people. Like, everyone who bitches about Thanksgiving, you're the one everyone has a problem with.
A children's book, so your son became a douche.
Like, if you didn't show up to Thanksgiving, everyone's, like, having a good time. Like, yeah, Phil didn't show up this year. It's like, yeah, he said we were all a bunch of racists just drinking Native Americans' blood on Thanksgiving. But really, we just had a couple beers and enjoyed each couple company, for a while, so...
And if it says if you do talk about politics, designate like a politics zone, like the living room.
See, that's
but who the fuck? But wait, and this is I'm assuming.
So
that
you can
they're
go
not
in
the
and out
host,
of
right?
No.
So you are going over to someone else's house.
Who made the food?
And you're saying, hey,
who raised you?
The living room, by the way, where the TV is. And you're saying, this is now the politics zone, and this is where we will discuss
intersectionality. Yeah.
Or if your uncle like mentions it during dinner, you're like, get the hell out, uncle. Get to the fucking politics zone.
Whenever he's watching football.
Let's let this 21-year-old blogger call the shots at this.
You come over and turn the TV off and be like, actually, this is the politics zone, so if you want to watch the game, you'll have to go to the bedroom.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's just Bolsheviks up the house and take the living room, redistribute all the fun away from
I'm fucking Mao's giving over here.
Yeah.
This is the politics zone. This is the Me Too movement zone. This is
yeah, it's like, have you guys guys also, I don't know if you experienced this, just have like a normal, fun conversation with your family about like maybe your fucking family? I don't know. Like they grew up.
Also, just fucking talk to you have to have something in common with your fucking parents.
No,
right?
you. That's the thing. People don't like to admit. If you go visit someone's family, you realize you have that thought. Where you're like, oh, you guys are all alike because you are your fucking family. It doesn't matter. You are genetically like your family. No matter what you want to do, you like them. They raise you. When you hang out with your family, that's like, unfortunately, those are the only people on this fucking planet.
Maybe that's why they hate it, because it's like you're hanging out with
yourself.
Yeah,
You're hanging out with 12 versions of you.
You're seeing the worst qualities of yourself, and so you're like, oh, this guy talks over people too much. Like, no, you do that.
Yeah, that's
you
you.
do that at work, and nobody says anything about it. You piece of shit.
Yeah. It's just you plus 20 years is your family. Maybe that's why everyone hates Thanksgiving. It's just essentially just looking at like a mirror. Like, you know those whole mirrors, you look down, you see like 12 versions of yourself. You see one that voted for Trump. You see one that's fucking like a weird, just horrible versions of yourself.
One that's
successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, one that's successful, one that's like a heroin addict. It's just you in multiple different iterations.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would go hang out with my family. I'm like, dude, I have more to talk about than like strangers on the street. It's like these people like, I'll just make small talk about fucking.
One article said that if like Trump comes up and you don't want to talk about it, you can just do an respond back to them with an exaggerated impersonation of Trump.
Just do a bit.
Yeah.
Just do a bit to get out of
it.
Yeah.
Do an impersonation of Trump to fucking. I feel like.
Can you imagine the person who wrote this? Because it's not like a funny person, right?
No.
So they were a person who was driving, and I am a bad Republican. that's supposed to kill with your 13 films.
That's supposed to bomb so hard that everyone just stops talking for like 5 minutes, and you can move on to some other stuff.
That would probably work, right?
Yeah. Everyone's just like, can we stop talking? Because Bill thinks it's Trump. His Trump impersonation is so annoying. Like, whoever the pro-Trump guy is like, we need stronger borders. And they're like, and they're like, okay, stop. It's like, stop forever. I'll vote for Hillary if you stop doing that voice.
Your fucking uncle is outside making phone calls. Like, he won't stop doing the fucking bit. It's like the 4th time it bombs. You don't keep bringing it up.
He started doing Bill Cosby now.
It's not.
Yeah, it's bad.
Doing awful Cosby. Oh, Mom, wait. Make sure I didn't drug that drink.
Yeah,
what? Why is he doing that?
That's another thing is, so my dad, he was like kind of like really annoying, like anarchist bookstore liberal. And these people murder the fun out of conversation. I'm talking about like you get together with your family, like you're trying to take your mind off the hard things of the world. You don't need to bring up this is like the zone where everybody's like, we're just hanging out, we're having fun. We don't need to bring all this shit up. It's like you're actually killing what could be a fun conversation. You know what I mean?
I will say, do you think? Because do you? I imagine you don't have any family members who voted for Trump.
I think I have like an uncle
On the white side, or the?
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's because he's like libertarian.
I'm talking about the minority. Like it's not. This isn't really a problem. When I go back home, there's not really anybody who's like.
Yeah, but I mean,
so
it's not
Trump
voted
is
for Trump.
doing-
But if I wanted to bring up something exotic
true.
like gay people, are they people? That
But
might
even
be a
then, we're
controversial
having-
topic in Central America.
Even in my family, we're having like fun conversations.
no, we're
you know?
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
But I think this is a problem.
It might be a wider kind of thing because in my family,
white
we're bringing,
people aren't fun.
We're bringing
So
up,
they need to
yeah,
have-
we're bringing,
they need to
we're
have
bringing
a politics
we're bringing
zone.
up a gay thing. Yeah, we're gonna have like even if we're on separate sides, we're gonna be having like a fun conversation about gay people. We're gonna be having
No, there's gonna be some fun riffs.
well, fun. Even though we're gonna be on different sides, it's gonna be like
there's
some
gonna
funny.
be a fun, hateful riff. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be hateful and
No, I'm
horrible.
gonna be like, all right,
it's gonna be funny.
I mean, I don't agree, but he is killing right
Yeah,
now.
he's murdering the table. So I mean, it's like,
I should just read the room and start hating on
Start riffing, baby.
I mean, dude, yeah, do it for the crowd. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't really have
This guy, his comedy is dated, but he is reading the room like an expert. I mean, he definitely he knows his audience.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in my family is kind of on the same board. I mean, religion, sometimes you might be like, oh, they're religious, I'm not. But it's like, you don't, again, you're the dick. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to, you could just lie low. You just let them have their time. If you're going to sit there and
That being said, you don't think there's like a responsibility? Like if your family member was like, is watching TV and they're there's a gay couple and they're like, ugh, faggot. You don't think you have a responsibility to be like, all right, that's not cool.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen at fucking Thanksgiving.
But also, like,
Would you say something like that? Would you be like, it's not? Or say your family member said something like they were like, oh, it was a black couple on TV. Like, I hate seeing niggers on TV. You wouldn't say
Well, it'd be
anything.
weird. That's like, why is my what happened? I'd be like,
I don't know. If you just had a very racist family member like that, you wouldn't. Obviously, it doesn't really.
I mean,
happen.
if they were that racist, that would be.
What would you say? Would you be like?
I mean, even if my grandpa will sometimes say things and be like, "Hey, that's not like cool," but I know there's like nothing I can do to change his mind. Like,
But you will say like, I'm not saying you had to like go into debate.
No.
You should be like, hey, or just like a hey, can you not say
I'll
that
like
around me?
I'll say stuff to him, but
Yeah.
it's like
Hey, it's person of color you don't want to see on TV. Okay. But yeah, what are some other tips to get
Do
to
you
survive
have
the
a-
love? Huh?
Well, your parents are together now, but did you ever have like mixed Thanksgivings when you were growing up, like the white and the Latino family were together?
No, because they live in different places.
Mm.
I mean, it's definitely a funner Thanksgiving. Latino
What?
Thanksgiving. Yeah, because everyone's just drunk.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
That's,
everyone's
what I was
just
asking is, does it make
Well,
things a
also
little
they
different?
didn't celebrate Thanksgiving until like last year because they moved here, and then when their take on it is just make better food and get drunker, and it's
I was
just
asking,
a funner
yeah,
time.
they may, it's different if you got anything mixed. You're dating a black woman. Cold, is it?
This felt like a talk show in
what's-
1952. Where we got really quiet. And we're like, "Oh."
what's your
He
question?
brought it up. He brought it up.
Is it? I don't know. I was asking. I was trying to wonder what it's like if you have like different races coming for one Thanksgiving together. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's just
So
like,
what about it?
yeah, but it's also,
what's the dynamic? Is it different?
but it's
Is
not
it-
like
is it
different
like-
races are like that. You know
But
what
the
I mean?
cultures are different.
Yeah, but not when you're all
Not
together.
really. I feel like
I mean,
people
like,
You don't
Ameri-
think so?
people
No,
like
because
to
then you just become
pretend,
that's like America. It's like you just
Yeah.
become
Like-
the ubiquitous melting
you know,
pot.
I'll watch those like whatever people are like, oh yeah, this is what we cook for Black Thanksgiving. I'll be like, yeah, we have pretty much the same like food.
Yeah, it's just like not fun. You know, it's just minus fun.
It's not good. You cook the same thing. Just cook it poorly.
But yeah, it's not like white Thanksgiving is like a totally different like we're all sitting in polos of like
I think so, man. That's what I imagine it's like.
Also,
No, it's the culture's really. That's another problem with these people is they think that like separate groups of people are like so radically different, and it's like
Maybe that's true.
it's not even that true. Most
I mean,
most
they're
people are
they're
kind of
different-
similar.
They're different, but they're similar, which is like they think that like everybody's.
Wait, you think all like we're sitting there and just burning effigies of the Native Americans, hanging out when it's like someone with some libertarian leanings just get together and they eat a meal like fucking people.
Yeah.
Like other people are just people. They want to hang out and do the same thing.
That's true.
yeah.
All right, so what are some more tips here, Cole?
Well, I went to the site called Showing Up for Racial Justice.
See, that's the thing. It's like I would rather hang out with your grandfather than any of these people.
Their site had like tips for how to handle Thanksgiving. They also have a phone number you can text SOS to get.
Jesus fucking Christ. These people are insufferable.
That is legitimately monstrous. That's
You're
you go in-
horrible.
I want to say if you text a number, you're going to hell. Your security.
You don't deserve a meal.
Spot in hell.
You also don't deserve a meal. Like
Yeah.
you don't deserve. Your family
And
shouldn't
the thing
have
is,
to
like,
sit
none
through
of
you.
these are
Like if you get
This isn't like some black guy trapped in like a get out scenario. These are all like scrawny, annoying little white kids who their uncle said something kind of stupid, and so you're texting an SOS number
Yeah.
so that someone can call you. in
He's
to
just
shit.
like, I just don't want anyone to take my guns away. And they're like, please help. They're send back up immediately.
also
What
if-
is the number?
if
The
it
number
is
calls
like
you?
black people that do work at this Showing Up for Racial Center, do they really want to like save these people from having just uncomfortable conversations? Like,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's like abusing their like labor. Like, save me from.
No, this is kind of an awkward moment. that I
What,
have to
what do they
it.
do? What do they when they text you? They
I don't know what they.
because what you need an SOS.
What is
the
SWAT
fuck
team
is
gonna
going
kick
on?
down the door and read your uncle's statistics about race relations and change his mind? And we need a debater in here ASAP, and they just kick down the door. And, like, who can't? Like, what's? There's really nothing that dark. Worst case scenario, it's just, yeah, okay. And
Yeah.
it's just quiet for a couple minutes.
Also, even if you don't want to talk to them, you can be like, okay, yeah, sure, and then just leave it. You don't have to like engage.
That's what I hate
them.
about people today is like everyone gets so heated and so mad about someone that has a mild disagreement with you. And it's like you do realize that you could talk to someone that you don't.
You also can. I fucking hung out with like racist people, or not even again, not like frothing about the racists, but people who are kind of prejudiced about black people, and like gone in with like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking talk to this person like an old person and change their minds about something. I've been over to my friend's house. and I was,
You changed them.
I was over my friend's house. I was over my friend's house when I was in high school. I was like a junior in high school. Her dad's Filipino.
Yeah.
Kind of racist against black people. That's how they are. But he's not like a frothing at the mouth racist. He's just kind of prejudiced and believes like all the fucking stereotypes and shit like that. And I went down and sat and had a beer with him and talked to him like an old person and changed his mind on issues because I'm not a fucking an idiot, a little idiot.
Yeah. I feel like that SOS thing, that's the nail in the coffin and how you're wrong. This side is wrong.
Yeah, that
you know
was
what I
that
mean?
was off. That
yeah,
that
like
was
this, like whoever you're talking about, like let's just worst case scenario, your average Trump voter, they're not an insufferable.
that was
moron.
no. That's like legitimately. I want you to if you're listening to the podcast right now, if you text an SO, if you are a scrawny, annoying, kind of awkward white guy
Yeah.
who reads Vice all day, if
Not
you
even
go,
guy.
what do you say?
Not even.
What?
Anyone.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Guy,
If
whatever
I
the
know,
fuck
I
you
want them to know. If you text an SOS number because your uncle is a little racist, you're going to hell. There's a spot you are going to. You and like Jenny McCarthy and
You're why your family member thinks this way. You know what I mean? You're why your family member's like, we need to take this country back. It's because people like you, if you were in charge, we'd have politics zones, fun zones. We'd have SOS numbers to text if we were uncomfortable. Like the world would be so hellish. That's like at least in the Soviet Union, they shot you in the head and they got it over with. Like these people just continue the torture over and over.
you got a fucking SOS number anytime anybody succeeds from your dog.
Yeah. Like, oh God. Yeah, like what world do you want to live in? Where it's like,
frantically texting 777. I love my party and my country.
yeah. For fuck's sake, yeah. And then another number to report members who are to the local government who are talking against. Yeah, and the North Koreans are evil. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think long story short, these people are just kind of entitled.
777 Democratic Republic of the People.
No, it's just you're an entitled, shitty person, and you're the worst person in your family. and you have a hard time being around your family because your family is just fucking you.
Yeah,
if you
they're
hate
just
your
you.
family, you hate yourself. Yeah. And that's
The Trump voter
yeah.
of your family that you cannot stand because he's stupid. Here's a version of you.
There's a Trump voter in all of us.
There is, though.
It comes out in traffic, comes out in the bus.
They also they say this website says during the thanks or prayer you should always acknowledge the land you are on.
Jesus.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What do you mean?
I'm thankful my grandfather
that's-
survived lung cancer.
Like
this
I should
year.
say,
Yeah.
like I'm on the Native Americans' land. Like
Yeah,
thank you God for
you
being
should
there.
always acknowledge it when you're giving thanks.
But what is that? First off, like every. How do I say this without justifying genocide? What was done to Native Americans was horrific. That being said, I mean, pretty much any place was like taken from people in a horrific way. You know, so unless like every time if I'm blessing a meal in Japan, I'm like, so thank you to the Ainu, the original inhabitants of Tokyo for you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah, no, you shouldn't do that. You should not do that.
The problem is we can't agree with you too hard on that. We can't.
Well,
be
yeah,
like,
I'm trying to frame
we
it.
can't- we
I'm
can't
trying
be
to frame it in a
we can't
way.
be like, listen, who did?
I'm
Who
trying
did?
to frame
You know
it in
what I
a
mean?
way to where it's not justifying the slaughter.
we can't
the
be
slaughter over people. But what I'm saying is like France did not originally belong to the French. Spain did not originally belong to the Spanish.
Plus, if someone had the audacity to be like, thank you for the Native American land that we stole, I'm like, oh, this is my fucking house. Thank you to me, motherfucker, for inviting you. I paid your plane ticket to hang out with me. I maybe thank your uncle for this his fucking house that he pays money for. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you're bored of this fucking country. What
And
do you want?
They
You know?
say that you should know all the facts about the true history of Thanksgiving and push back at the myth around the dinner table. The myth.
I mean,
that,
So,
there
like,
is-
I don't bring up any story. Like, you just hang
Yeah,
out.
we don't think that. I mean, there is
Who-
like
who's
that. There
that-
is
who's
the
hanging out
myth
at
of like,
Thanksgiving?
oh, the first Thanksgiving was like a bunch of Native Americans and pilgrims hanging out and buddy, which was not true. But that's not. We don't fucking talk about that
Yeah.
at home. We're not like, yeah, I'm thankful that the Pilgrims and the Native Americans were such good.
Yeah.
It's fucking 2018. We all have internet. We all know that the Pilgrims slaughtered Native Americans. We're sitting around thankful that we're having dinner with family. That's what we're thankful for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Honestly,
myth-
I'm just thankful I don't have to be around any of these people in my fucking family.
I looked into some of the history of Thanksgiving though, just looking into research.
And what?
I mostly
I
looked.
like how
at,
you get quieter when you talk. Like, I looked into history, and yeah, we're wrong.
Yeah, they slaughter. Yeah,
I
they
mostly
slaughtered
looked
people.
at the history of Squanto. You know Squanto?
Yeah, he's
the-
like the Native American in the.
Wasn't he? Was he a slave? I'm pretty sure he was a
No,
slave.
he's one that they say like helped us plant corn.
But I thought
and,
he
like,
learned
helped us-
English because they enslaved him.
Yeah.
right?
Well, I looked into history. He so yeah, he was taken to Spain,
As a
sold
slave,
into, and
yeah.
sold into slavery there, and then he returned to America. He found out he was the last of his people, and then since he was captured by the Spaniards, other Native Americans didn't trust him, so they turned him into a slave for for their tribe, and then they used him as a translator. And eventually, the Pilgrims, are like, we could use his services, so we took him, and then
As a slave again, or as a guy?
Kind of just as a guy, but really, like, really. And then some other Native American tribe captured him again, took him as a slave, and so we went and rescued him, the Pilgrims. I don't know why I said we.
You can say we.
But, yeah. And then
Well, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it is like, the thing is, the
No,
real story.
it's not done
propaganda is
yet.
good.
that's when we captured him back. That's when he helped us with the Thanksgiving crop, and then he died a year later of a disease.
That seems like an appropriate name for someone for that Squanto.
Yeah.
That happened to. The story of Squanto.
So are you supposed to open Thanksgiving with that story? Be like, now that we're all here, what you guys want to know the real story of Squanto?
Story of
sit in awkward
Squanto,
silence.
the loneliest native in the land. You just open up a horrific children's book.
I also saw this tip on there that pregnancy during the holidays gives you an automatic free pass to eat anything you want without being judged, and to leave early because you don't feel well.
So
Isn't that
get
just being pregnant?
just
Yeah.
so you can eat whatever you want. Leave
Well,
early.
are they saying that you should get pregnant? I mean, isn't that just
Yeah.
being pregnant gives you the right to eat whatever you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
and leave because you feel sick? It's called being pregnant.
Yeah.
No, I think you should get pregnant just in case.
Yeah, you're a psychopath. You're,
Just in
you're,
case,
you're
in
a
case you have an
psychopath.
awkward, get pregnant just in case you're in a conversation you don't want to be in and you have an out. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm sorry, the baby's hurting, and then you could go right out. So bring life into this world because you cannot handle a conversation with somebody.
Is that what the SOS number is saying? We're like, help, my uncle's kind of annoying. We're like, are you on
we have a
birth control?
turkey baster
Text
full of
back-
semen
text
on the
back
way
me.
to impregnate you.
Yeah, and there's also other tips, like on how to eat healthy for Thanksgiving, which is completely defeats.
Shut the
Fucking
fuck.
point.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck. These people hate
God,
fun.
can you imagine
they
what
hate
they're
fun.
Can you imagine what
This
they're
is-
bringing to
this-
the fucking
wait, this is-
to the dinner? By the way,
Oh,
when,
God,
when
that-
your mom is slaving making mac and you're bringing your fucking vegan cupcakes, you're like, why has no one touched my stuff yet? Because it's dog shit. That's why. Because you almost ruined Thanksgiving.
This is the tip for the food. It says choose to set yourself up for success and start your day with a green juice, a big green smoothie, a shot of wheat glass, or a glass of warm water with a big squeeze of lemon juice. Your body will thank you later. Then have a goal of filling 75% of your plate with plain veggies, so that
I'd
you-
rather eat deep fried turkey at a
I want to
KKK
be.
rally.
If I'm the 50-year-old patriarch of a family, and I make you, I fucking make you food, and you fill your shit with something, I will kick you out of my fucking house. I will tell you.
I think
to
you have the
get
right to
fuck-
beat someone to death with a drumstick. If
Get the
they bring
fuck-
up some wheatgrass bull. It's also, could you imagine
I
being like,
tolerated when you went to a liberal arts school. I tolerated when you dyed your hair green. Take the fucking vegetables off your plate, or I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm
it's
gonna
also,
beat you to
could you
death.
imagine being like, well, it's Thanksgiving, it's a very special holiday. Getting a big squeeze of lemon, getting a whole. We're going heavy on the lemon. We're not going without the lemon.
As everybody's sitting there like toasting wine and beer, and you hold up your fucking wheat juice, and you're, yeah, I got.
God, yeah, no. You think Thanksgiving, you get blackout drunk with your family, eat enough turkey to you pass out like a fucking American. Okay, that's the one culture we all have in common. It's just eating to excess and consuming to death, and these people aren't fun,
Yeah.
and that's why
Suck,
they can't.
dude.
That's why they can't survive Thanksgiving or New Year's or Christmas. It's about having fun.
I was like, yeah,
And if-
drink some fucking alcohol and
Yeah,
shut the
just
fuck. Shut
fucking
the
be
fuck
fun.
up.
That's a
drink.
If
What's
you're-
up, most of the problems in these books, fucking drink. That's
Yeah,
what you need
yeah,
to do.
be
Get
fucking
about 7 fucking beers. Get about 7 beers deep, and I guarantee you can talk about anything you fucking.
you might
want.
actually nail that Trump impersonation.
You might kill.
Things might actually work out.
You get 14 beers deep, and you're gonna be killing at
You
the
murder.
fucking
You
table.
get along with any fucking family. Walk into somebody else's house. Join their family.
Kidding me?
That's what I'm saying. That's why these people hate Thanksgiving. Is it's like fun. They hate
I
fun.
also saw this tip, which kind of kills. It says save time with a caterer. That just kind of kills.
Yeah,
like,
that
the
just
whole,
feels-
You're a piece of shit if you do that.
Yeah,
you're
like, that's-
a shitty person.
not
When you cater, it
Thanksgiving.
feels like a rich family that doesn't love each other anymore. Like the maids are bringing it all in, and it's like,
Yeah.
Father,
so sad.
so Father, how's the company? He's like, fantastic, my dear. And we're all like sitting there looking at each other like, son, how are the thing on Harvard? Right? It's like, made that problem disappear for you, son.
I heard your
Fable.
girlfriend is with child. Yes, father.
Also, if you have a cater for your Thanksgiving dinner, I'm sure everyone at the table has the same politics.
Yeah, no.
Like
there's no confusing. If you cater your Thanksgiving, we all know what your opinion is already on health.
Ordering your maid to Tabitha. Tell mother I love her.
There's also articles from Boulder Weekly, Boulder in Colorado.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know if this was just like
The anti-deodorant rally that is Boulder,
it
Colorado.
it totally like fits. They just say you should to handle like these conversations, you should get stoned.
Oh, terrible idea.
Yeah,
Show
yeah,
up weird and paranoid, and
Dr-
someoe's like, "Yeah, so did you see Trump's in the news?" And you're like, "What? I didn't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about."
So what do you think about me too? I don't smell like weed. You smell like weed. I don't smell like weed.
But there's like I guess no like real self-awareness. Like a Colorado newspaper, that's like the it's like a satire of like what a Colorado like newspaper would say or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're
Christ.
just like get
Getting
stoned.
drunk. Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking. I have been. Have you ever been high around your parents before?
Yeah, but high around my parents
Without them, with them knowing.
Oh yeah, when they find out or whatever.
No, I've been high like I was Was this when I went back?
I
to
showed up.
visit?
I showed up to breakfast.
This maybe
with my
this is a little bit
grandparents.
before I moved to Chicago, so I'm like graduate. I like graduated high school. And when my dad's friends came over, he was hanging out, and then it's like offered me a joint. And my dad was like, "Yeah, you're an adult." So I'm smoking with my dad's friend on the porch, and I come back and I'm like, "Ah, shit," and he knows, and he's just like fucking with me. I was like, "That's fun."
It's totally legal in Washington, so
So you can
My-
get high with your
my
racist
mom
grandfather.
last time I was there, I was with my mom and we all just me, Shosh, and my mom, we had edibles and just like
Your family's like cool.
Yeah.
You do edibles?
I mean,
Cole
no,
seems like he's on edibles all the time. Cole seems like he's eats like 4 brownies and then goes
yeah,
about life.
if it's as easy as just like walking into the store and like buying like a
Oh, you guys just like bought them like from a store?
yes. It's
It's like
Washington.
that legal? Like you can just buy.
So Cole's family's awesome. You presented it like
Yeah, your family's
you're like
fucking
racist.
amazing.
I'm like you're going with
Your mom did
your,
fucking
your
edibles?
hilarious grandfather. You and your mom you get high as fuck together and eat turkey. And you have the audacity to call your grandfather racist. You know what?
I mean, he's still racist, even though he's fun to be around. That doesn't.
But aren't most of them?
Yeah, I mean that's yeah.
All right, where were we?
There was only one other thing, and it was how to cope when you are alone on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, see that's the hardest one.
Yeah.
That's actually
I'm gonna be
surviving.
fucking alone on Thanksgiving.
Huh?
I'm working the day before and the day after Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be here in Chicago alone. I'm probably gonna text one of my dad's friends is gonna bring me a plate, but yeah, fucking, I'm gonna be at my house.
Jesus. Well, again, this is a comedy podcast. We don't need you to bring your sorrow over here. All right? You put your makeup on, you clown around. Okay? Shut up. All right? Yeah. No. So but the thing is, that's
What do you want to do? So you're supposed to spend. Some options are spend the day watching football games and become a sports fan.
Can you imagine Kwame sitting
That's,
alone?
yeah, that's sad if you're into football. If you're not into, I'm gonna sit all day and do something I don't enjoy.
I just imagine
Yeah. And
him
then
playing
it
like
says,
a.
it says maybe next year when you can make small talk on sports, you'll be invited to a Thanksgiving football gathering.
It's one of the most brutally mean things I've ever heard. Maybe next year.
Just study how to be a person so people invite you to stuff.
Next year, when you're not such a piece of shit, people will want to be around you. You lonely, boring bastard.
It says you could go people watching too on that day.
Oh my
which
God.
is-
What kind of psychopath is studying other human
Can you
beings who
imagine
know how to act on
Kwame
Thanksgiving?
listening to like Alone Again naturally on a loop, like writing down football statistics? Like, not next year, man. We're definitely gonna break it next year.
Yeah, and the last tip it had when you're alone on Thanksgiving, you could write a letter to yourself.
Jeez.
That's
Plan on opening it next year to see what you were thinking and feeling.
to
I
a
wanna kill
suicide
myself.
note.
Yeah, write a suicide
I'm writing a
note.
suicide note.
Yeah. What was I thinking last year? Alone eating just turkey out of a can over
You
a
just,
sink.
yeah, you just open it. It's like this was the worst Thanksgiving. That's all.
I'm gonna open it. It's gonna. Nobody loves you.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting with my family. What are you eating? Nothing.
What
I
happened?
hope
well,
you-
last year I texted the SOS and I wasn't invited back after they didn't like the kale juice cupcakes. And
Yeah. So yeah, you guys feel like you're equipped to survive this next Thanksgiving?
I think I'm,
Well,
just,
I think
I'm
I'm-
thankful none of these people that wrote these articles are going to be at my Thanksgiving, and I'm going to have a great time and get blackout drunk with my family.
I'm equipped to survive next year's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean you're going to write a letter and learn sports facts so people actually give a fuck
I'm not
about
fucking just gonna sit and watch a sport I don't watch all fucking day. I'm not doing that.
it. You're just gonna. So you're getting like. Just, I mean, you gotta do something special, like chicken ramen noodles or something like that. To really like for
I'm
the
probably
occasion.
gonna have some people bring me a plate, but I will be eating it alone in my apartment.
Why don't you just go to wherever the plate's coming from?
Because I don't know them like that. They're like people that my dad knows.
But I feel like
So I
it's
can-
more
so I
of a
can, like,
burden
text.
to like
Yeah,
bring
yeah,
a
yeah.
plate to someone and just drop it off and be like, enjoy.
Weirdo. Yeah.
Going.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
come out
gonna.
in your
weird.
bathrobe and then
Would
go
you
eat
go
it.
hang out with people that you don't know for a
I
full
then
day?
sit alone and have them bring food to me. Then I'm like, thank you, with tears in my eyes as I go back and try to be like, who's the quarterback of what now? No, no.
Yeah,
No.
like they're gonna be out there Thanksgiving. They're like, all right, who's gonna make this trip to bring this piece of shit?
Yeah.
It's this plate.
Who's this? Phil's son's sad and weird, and he's unemployed. What's he do here? He tries to do stand up, and it's just bad. And he fucked up so much he can't afford to go back for Thanksgiving. So we're gonna bring him.
Apparently, he'll die if we don't
Yeah,
bring
we have
this
to
plate
bring
to
him
him.
I'm not gonna go
turkey
hang out with strangers on things. I would rather sit and eat by myself than have them be like, "So what are you doing?" I'm just like, "Oh,
You know, it's not that weird. Like,
What's
be a
your
fucking
son?
human. Hang out with some people. Learn something.
they just slide the plate of Thanksgiving food under your
Yeah,
door.
like you're like you're a death row prisoner. Go walk up to your apartment.
Like, here's your last meal.
They're gonna walk in. It's like
Oh,
he uses
Jesus.
more 3 taps. All right, just use 3 taps. And he's like,
Who's there?
Here you go, Kwame. No one's called me that in a long time.
You're just in there writing a letter to
It's been a
yourself.
long time since I've heard my own name.
Thank you. You come out with like a candle. You're like, oh, thank you for coming by the apartment. We don't normally get visitors around here, don't we? you turn to like a beach ball in a chair that you're like gonna feed turkey for
You
Thanksgiving.
come out, you're like, yeah, Dak Prescott threw for 300 yards, and
I move a blow up doll out of the way. Would you like to come in for some tea? Oh, busy. I see.
Okay.
Most people are these days.
Yeah.
Well, you
Well-
you have a good one then.
Well, we actually don't have much room here, and you're moving around a bunch of mannequins.
yeah, just go to the
Clara,
Thanksgiving.
Clara, we have visitors. I was like, bring the blow up doll. This is my wife, Clara. We've been together for a couple of years now.
Yeah, Kwame's Thanksgiving, we'll be watching the Cleveland Browns trying to feed a blow-up doll ramen noodles. I think that's exactly what.
Maybe next year we can both go to.
Yeah.
What do you think of the game, sweetheart? Yes, of course. Perfect analysis.
Ah, boy, they are failing this year. They are failing this year. Stare off in the distance. In a way, they're not the only ones fumbling, are they? Darling. Oh, man.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's good. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy
and I
Thanksgiving.
think we should all be grateful
Is this
that
coming out before or after Thanksgiving?
for. So I think the ultimate thing to be grateful for is this podcast. So please rate and subscribe.
Rate it, subscribe to it, share it with your friends and family.